I can't solve my problems. I'm feeling depressed. What if I told you there is a way that you will be able to leverage this? The world is changing at a rapid pace. The world is shifting, the jobs are shifting right and left. We see coders letting go, IT people letting go, and all of the industries because of the AI revolution and the tech and the progress. It's not the bottom line or the top CEOs or the middle management. Everybody is right now getting affected because the speed of the change is so much, nobody knows what's gonna happen. The main reason is the skills that are needed are unknown. So we are all in the same boat. The mental health crisis is everywhere. It is not only in one country specific, it is everywhere. Poverty is going to become the main issue in following years. Can we use our problems to be able to this into prosperity for us? We got this education for us, which led us into one-to-many lectures. And in those lectures that are not cutting it anymore. The projects that I go require a hands-on skill sets in multiple different areas. So the people who just got one skill are not going to be able to make it. We have to understand it's not stacked for our favor. We are dealt a bad hand. We learned one skill, we got that degree from the university, but we shouldn't have got only one degree. You can call it great reset, you can call it X, but the reality is world is changing so fast and our skills are not mapping it. The rise of the required skills, there's a big inflation. Everybody wants you to know the AI, you to know the IT skills, you to know the multiple languages. So the jobs are shifting. The employers don't know what they are going to do. Are they going to give it to the AI or are they going to give it to you? Or are they going to give it to somebody who knows the AI that's going to be able to manipulate it? We are going to look into those topics in this video and how we can work with them. This is Erdem. I work as a change engineer for complex automation systems, and I see that the change is coming towards us in a very rapid speed. I have been lots of ups and downs. I made $1 million and I have also applied for a universal credit. So you can see the poverty and the prosperity. I will be able to guide you in those two aspects. You will be able to see how the change affects your life. Are you going to be fragile? Are you going to become robust? Or are you going to be anti-fragile? Being able to learn from your problems, being able to learn from your breaks, and become much more stronger. I have lived in places where things were more fragile, more autocratic. I've also lived in places where the democracy ruled. I've been into 5 different cities in my life for my career and worked in 5 different continents. And I learned how to leverage my skills. All the money that I made, not because of a university degree, but I learned how to leverage my skills and be able to adapt at the same time. I currently live in United Kingdom and I'm an active immigrant who is very broken, and being broken is not something bad. Having problems is not something that is bad. People might portray it that way, but don't take it that way. Make sure that I continue my journey and you guys are continuing your journey. You could be in a rough place in your life right now. You could be in poverty or in prosperity. It really doesn't matter. We are all going to face these problems for us. How I will show you to be able to leverage these problems and escape the reality for yourself. There's going to be 3 steps. The first step is setting up your goal. The second step is having a framework. And the third step is being able to iterate on it. What I do is I take all my research. I decide on a idea that I'm going to create a video on. So this video was all about problems, me solving the problems. So I will take you through my framework and my approach, how I attack the problems, and I put them in my core of my process. Let's admit, nobody likes problems. I also don't like problems, but I learned to like them. So it doesn't have to be like you change your mindset, do some kind of a secret stuff. No, you need to understand we can leverage these errors and we need to look at from a different perspective. Once you understand, you are going to look at them from a different perspective, it is going to become much easier. You need to seek errors. You need to become a little bit like myself, a problem-oriented. Where is the error in the system? You need to hunt that down. Ryan Holiday has the book, Ego is the Enemy, Obstacle is the Way. What we have to understand is, as we can find error, these are the obstacles in our mind, in our systems, in our work, then we can definitely put it to my mind and say, okay, that is my goal. I want to make sure I solve this too. If you guys don't reach the error in the first stage, then your life is going to be very hard. If you don't know what the error is, then you have a very, very big problem. How are you going to find the problem? So what you need to do is you need to get out of the bed, leave your real situation and imagine and make sure that you are going through an aim. While you are on that aim, you are going to learn how to diverge and converge, meaning write options for yourself and be able to summarize it. Once you guys try to diverge, meaning you guys include many things in your life, you go through a research process, you are going to definitely see errors. And once you are trying to converge them and put them into a real product, real solution for yourself, there's going to be a lot of errors. You want to be able to create an outline and be able to transfer it to somebody else. Right now, I'm having that problem. I went through my week. I'm trying to summarize it for you guys. So it is a problem, diverging and then converging for you. So while you guys are going through your problems, you guys are going to do a research and a development. Research phase is mostly diverging. Development phase is converging. You guys are going to come up with a solution for yourself. So my week started with this task that I got at work, and they told me that I need to connect these two systems together, and I understood that I need to connect them together. I followed up a tutorial, but the systems didn't work. It showed a 404 error, a dial-up error, X error in a complex system. So my problem was I got stuck. Once I got stuck, I was like 10 steps in that I was stuck in my framework. Then I did do 70 steps, iterated a little bit more. I got more answers. I had to do around 90 to 100 steps. It's not something instant. Once you find something that works in a little bit, they call it MVP, minimum viable product, something is working for you, you need to be able to build on top of it and outline all the related errors that you are going to see. You are going to build a skateboard. You need to make sure you are on top of the skateboard. It is the first 10 steps for you. But you ride the skateboard and you start falling, then you are starting to find the errors in your process. What I do is, in my job, I create this basic GitHub repositories and I start working from there. That is vital for myself because everything that I need to do, I need to make sure I reach there. Even I'm reaching there, I'm using the GitHub to make sure that I record all this hero's journey. I'm reaching the GPTs, the AIs, to be able to suggest me. I am very close to my real world, to the symbolic world, which is the GPTs, the coders world. I use something called GitHub. If you guys have never heard the GitHub, it is a coders database where you can write the stuff. It is just a basic fancy notepad which is distributed all over the globe. As these computers need to read the files, they are going to use something called Git, and GitHub is the place where you can save your stuff, and you definitely go there and register there. For you, having the correct environment really matters. I know that everybody is trying to learn the GPT, but you guys need to get an environment. The reason I'm using the GitHub is they have something called code spaces. So you guys should be able to get into a code space. What does that mean? I'm really advising everybody to get a GitHub account. Yes, with the rise of the AI, with the SaaS and the PaaS platforms, you guys are going to have to enter and be able to be literate in the language that is closest to the matrix, which you call the AI, the computing software. You need to make sure you are in that world. You should not just write a Google document, a Word document. You need to understand, okay, I can write the stuff where the AI can understand natively. So go and open yourself a GitHub account. What I will do is, for the people who created their GitHub account, you can put your GitHub account in down below into the comments. I even my second brain in GitHub. Create your repo, put it down below, make it public, and try to get feedback from others. It is going to be not easy because you need to learn all these Git comments at the start, but it's a very, very good start. You need to make sure once you get an error, you need to document it in a place like Git, so you are able to reach there much faster and you'll be able to reach there with automation. It does not have to be software. I'm working in the software and the operations, but it can be anything. It can be doing your budget. It can be doing your taxes. It can be writing a software program. It can be working for a university. Any environment that you can connect the GPT, the AI engines, which is the Git, that is the perfect platform for you. Our next stage is being able to set up the framework. The framework is the vital part in this equation. You have the Git and you are going to set up your framework on top of the Git. In the previous videos, I shared about these 7 baby steps that you guys are going to use for the Lacan's triad, which is the critical part for everyone. We start with something called the real. I create a folder called real job. Anything that is expected from me goes into the real job folder. Then, after the real, before the imaginary world, I create my environments. I create a folder called environments or a markdown file called environments. It's very, very important. If I'm going to create my environment in OpenShift, in Minikube, in my local, I will put all the related stuff there though. It could be something different for you. Understand environment, nature, and the nurture. We talked about the previous videos. Your nature and the nurture, they are both important. The coding, the symbols are your nurture, and the nature is the environments that you guys are working in. Once we realize everything is created in the environments, we are going to go through all the imaginary world, meaning the screenshots. Take a screenshot of the thing that you are trying to do. I'm trying to log a system, so I take a screenshot of something called a Prometheus. Every stage I will put them into the system because the AI can read your images and will be able to help you with the images. Not only with one images, as I mentioned, I had to go through 100 stages, so I put all the images into a folder called imaginary. After putting the images, I will look at the screen and ask all the formulas. Then I create a folder called formulas and put markdown files down below. What it helps me is I will have step-by-step approach that what I need to do to be able to turn on the machines. Don't forget, a person who knows the AI is going to take your job, not AI is going to take your job. You need to learn how to leverage the AI. After you do all the formulations in the markdown, you put all the GPT results down there, you are going to enter into a symbolic world. In the symbolic world, the place that I use is mermaid charts. I create all the symbols and create a map. Think this is like a war and you need all your symbols to play in this war. What you are going to do is put all your symbols, relationships, connections, in my case, port numbers, components, pods, clusters, I will put them into the map. Then what I do is I enter into the, which is called the semblance, the core concept of this video. The more errors I see, the more errors I catch, it means I am more closer to the reality. That's the most important part. That is the reason I told you your first goal is to be able to reach the errors, because you are living in the real world and it takes a journey for you to be able to find those errors. Everything that I do, I will put them into the journey markdown and I'm going to record in a very converged way. So there's not that many details, screenshots, images, formulas, no. Just the basic things, the minimum viable product with the shortest path possible into journey, so I can follow it much easier. What I see with my rational friends is they just want to have the journey but don't want to document the system around. Then they say I get stuck and I can't get out of it. That is your fault. Your job is to document your journey and be able to get leveraged by the AI, because once I provide those 100 files, images, text files, my journey, my reality, my job, the AI is able to advise me which way to go. I am a person who uses the AI and who will take your job. So understand, all this changing a lot. Use the AI like your mobile phone to be able to help you. And you have to set this, you have to set up your second brain. You can't ask Apple to do this for you. If you don't do this, they are going to demand you. You are using the AI, not AI using you. The core part is J in the Lacan's triad. I call it the journey. You can call it the joy sense. I always make sure there is the index numbered section so I can go back to my repository and follow all the steps that I have left. Setting up this Kubernetes cluster, I should be able to set it up in 30 days in my first try. In the second try, 3 days. In my last try, I should be set up in 3 minutes. So every time you go to journey with a different environment, you need to get better. That is your job. Once you leverage the errors, you are going to see that you are going to become very AI friendly and document friendly. That is very important, which I mentioned. You have to start from Git. Here is my folder structure. If you look into this, you are going to see a real job folder, an imaginary folder, a formula folder, a symbols folder, a journey folder. You are going to see all of them in my repositories. You can just go to my Git and you are going to see all these different repositories that I'm trying to learn on, and the AI knows I'm trying to learn this as well at the same time. And you are also going to see all these index numbers which I'm trying to follow. As I follow those numbers, it is much easier for me not to get lost in a complex world of symbols where there's a lot of changes. You can tell me, oh, Rifat cheating, he's putting all these numbers, he's getting the support from the AI. Yes, I am doing that because I look at this as an infinite gameplay. This is not a finite game. I know that once you guys went to the school, the main problem was the lecturer forcing you to make sure that you guys just filled in the answers and you guys really didn't have to understand what was behind those answers. But right now, you guys have GPT, you guys have the AI. What you can do is write those markdown files, read, understand. You guys are in an infinite game and turn this into a self-learning journey. The more you guys learn, the much easier it is going to be. My exercise for you, for everyone, is go and create your Git repository and start creating the folders, real, imaginary symbols, and create README files down below and ask the GPT how you can populate them and start playing around. And the last point, you need to understand the joy sense and the J. Ali Abdal calls this feel good productivity. Lacan calls this joy sense. You make sure you are getting faster and being happier in this process. Do something that makes sense with you. You don't have to name them the way that I named. I'm using the Lacan's triad. You can do it in a different way. But I gamified the environment, so it is very straightforward for me. I know which road that I need to follow. I find the error. I have a framework, and I turn in it as much as possible that I can, and I do not give up once there's an I want to be able to find another error. I want to be able to find screenshots that I can add to my process, which is very, very important for myself. Our first goal is we need to make sure we reach the error as fast as possible. Then we have an AI-based framework, and then we iterate through the process. So if you guys are interested in learning in self-learning processes using the AI, leveraging yourself, this is the channel for you. I created videos on CVS Code. Go and check it out. I created tech videos about text plays where you can write these GPT prompts much faster and leverage yourself in the self-learning process. Be my guest, go to the videos and leave it. Make sure that your GitHub repos are seen by other people, by myself, so I can give the feedback for you. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I hope to see you guys more mobile and more anti-fragile.